This is for anybody down the line that would like to know who I might be that never get to see them, their great-grandchildren and stuff. You can say this. My name is Luther Richard Millard, and I'm senior. I have a son named Richie. I was born May the 14th, 1928, in Faison, North Carolina. At an early age of about 3, we moved to Wayne County. My father's name was Fillmore Millard, and my mother's name was Lucille Miriam King, and then she married my dad. Of course, she was a Millard then. And I had 4 brothers, 2 older and 2 younger. The older one was named William Fillmore. Junius Hayward was next one. Then me, and then Thomas Omega was under me, and then David King under me. That's my brothers. We lived in Wayne County for a good many years. My dad died in 1940. And we moved to Wilmington, lived for a year or two, a couple of years. And then Mama married a man named Nathan Herring. And I was about 12 or 13 years old. We moved to Pender County. That's up in the next county to New Hanover, which is in Wilmington. And I went to school there for a number of years in Long Creek Grady School. And we, along about the next to my last year, I was a senior class that year. I was hired by the Federal Bureau of Investigation as a fingerprint classifier. Then I moved to Washington, D.C., and stayed up there for about 5 or 6 months, and made friends with a lot of people. And one of the friends that I made was an agent, an FBI agent that I was working with. And he said, "You'd like a little bit of finishing school." He had looked at my records, and I told him yes, I'd liked 1 more year, because during the moving from Wilmington to Long Creek there was a shake-up in classes. So he advised me to go back and finish my year of school and come back, and they'd had a job open for me, and I could go on then as a high school graduate. I could be an FBI agent, which sounded good at the time. So I went back home and lived with Sam Ingram, which was the postmaster at that time of Burgaw. I was good friends with that family, and I was good friends with their son Sam, but he was in the Navy. And I lived in Burgaw and went to Burgaw High School and finished my last year. Then I got a wild hair that I'd like to join the Navy, which I did. And I got into the Navy in 1946. Went to San Diego, California for boot camp, and then left there and went to New London, Connecticut to submarine school, and then on to Mare Island, California, and then on to Hawaii. Pearl Harbor was where I was stationed on a submarine for 2 years. And during that period of time, I took trips to Alaska, Japan, went by Guam, and around different places. Went to Seattle, Washington, and into Canada, San Diego, San Francisco. We traveled a lot. But I got into starting to get into underwater demolition and decided I'd get out. I should have went on and stayed in. But anyway, I got out, and I'm glad I did. And I came back home and was on the 5220 Club. That's when the government would give you $20 a week for 52 weeks if you didn't have no job. And I didn't have no job, so therefore I took the 5220. Well, a little later on, got with a stepbrother, which was one of Nathan's sons, Nathan Jr., I guess you'd say. And me and him bought an old truck, and we was in the trucking business there for one summer. Well, I came in one Friday night, been to New York twice that week. He didn't drive with me. He was in school. And he decided to go to Florida on Saturday morning. and he took off to Florida, and he got far as Myrtle Beach. Somebody run into the side of him, turned him over, and got in jail. Said he was, because a guy got hurt in the other car, even though it wasn't his fault. That put us out of the trucking business. So I was beginning to get hungry. That $20 a week didn't go very far, living in Wilmington in an apartment with Uncle June and Chuck Russell. I then got a job at Carolina Power and Light Company, well, Tidewater Power Company then, and then it changed over to Carolina Power and Light Company. And I went to work there. And I worked there for in 49 and 50 up until 1985, which what, 37 years about. During that time I was there, I went to lunch one time with a guy that I worked with named Monk Rogers. And he had a young, pretty daughter named Phyllis. And I sat outside of her to eat lunch, and that was fun. And she was so pretty. And I liked her from the start. But nothing happened back then except that I fell in love with her that day that I was eating lunch with her, but she didn't know it at the time. So I went on around with her daddy and them and fishing and one thing another, and then I carried her to a couple of dances, and one thing led to another, and the next thing I knew, we were in love. We had a party or something other, and we were down on Carolina Beach Road, and I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. So we got married on June the 17th, 1950. And it was a good marriage. We had a good time. It was interrupted slightly in March of 1951, which we saved our reputation for a few days, when old Luther Richard Jr. came along, my #1 son. And then a little later in 1955, on May 9th, I think it was, 5th maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, it was early May. I can't remember why I'm talking to this thing. But anyway, Terry came along, Victor Terrell, another nice little boy. And he was a lot of fun, and we had a good time raising these boys and taking camping trips, and we got into camping, and we were going all over the country and doing all kinds of things and working a lot. And lo and behold, in 1963, yes, 1963, along came another little guy named Robert Maury, named after my uncle. So we had 3 sons, no daughters, and we kept on doing and having a good time and doing things along, and went along, and up until this date, well, I retired in 1985. We did a lot of traveling. We bought a motorhome. We've had 3 motorhomes actually. This is the last one we got. We bought it new, and we've been traveling a lot in it. We had an old Winnebago one time, and then we had a Travel Queen one time. But now we got this one, and we decided in 1989, the year that we bought it, we were living here at the house that we built in '55. We decided we'd move into the motorhome and let Richie and them live in the house, which they did, and they took over the house, and we started living in the motorhome, which we've been living in it for almost 9 years now. And we enjoy it. It's sitting right outside. I'm in the garage that we built, and it's sitting right outside there, and we just step out on the porch and go in and out of it. We go to Myrtle Beach and stay we have a membership down in Myrtle Beach. We go down there and stay sometimes. But we have a lot of fun, and we hope that our children's 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 children will see this and know that we were a fun-loving family, very close family. I had, as I told you prior, we had 4 brothers. They all now live right here in New Hanover County, about 3 miles from each other. All of us live right here together. All the brothers and all of us belong to an a club. We're in the Exchange Club of Greater Wilmington, and Richie is too. We like that. It's a very nice fellowship, and we enjoy each other, and we have dinners together monthly, and we just have a good time. We are a loving family. We love all of each other, and we hope that our family tradition will carry on, that love one another. We sure do, and we have birthday parties, and we have all kinds of things going on. And my oldest brother's children, he died in 1987. They live out in California, and we very rarely ever see them. Now I'm going to let Miss Phyllis come on here in a minute, and that be your great-great-great-great-grandmother or whatever, and you'll see what she looked at like. And we're just leaving this as a legacy to you, so you can, somebody will tape this on some other tapes, and you will have what your grandparents on your the Millard side looked like. Some of you, when you see this, I'll be long gone from this earth, and I'll be in heaven or wherever they send me. I love all of you, even though I don't know any of you, and I will be in touch when you see me in the place up yonder. Goodbye.